Good morning everyone, welcome to Egham Orbit's live streaming of classes. My name's Amanda. We are going to do a 30-minute Pilates session today. I will aim it at all levels, always starting at foundation and then adding on progressions to accommodate those that want to be more challenged. But please be mindful, I can't see you. You're exercising in your own home, so make sure you've got a bit of space, a mat or some soft flooring. You want to have maybe a little towel. If you haven't got something like a ball, even a little cushion will help with any postures that we're working with. All right, so be mindful you're on your own today and just monitor yourself very closely. Make sure you're in control of your movements. Anyway, we shall begin with our Pilates setup. So let's start with our feet underneath our hip sockets. What I'd like you to do is just lift your toes up into the air and stretch and fan those toes out. Now make that connection with your feet and the floor. I want you to ground your feet down and think about oppositional length. So as the feet ground down, we're going to start to lift the head away from the feet. So I want you to elongate your spine. I want you to find the natural curve that runs through your back, your neutral spine. Good, allow your shoulders to slide down your back, so just allow them to melt and create a little soft V shape in the back of the shoulders, a mild engagement. Make sure the ribs are centered over the pelvis. If it helps, just a gentle rocking action to find the neutral alignment, and then find somewhere midway between those 2 points. Okay, so your tailbone is under and your hips are level in front. You just place your hands on your thighs, give your thighs a little shake. Okay, when they're soft, we know that our knees are soft and we're not standing with those locked knees, so nice soft joints. All right, we are good to go. So let's start mobilizing by rotating the shoulders round. So nice big circles, creating space, thinking about symmetry in your body. And let's think about restoring the body's natural balance as we work through the movements today. Good, let's make that a little bit bigger and take it into the elbows. So we're drawing the same side circles with the elbows. Again, thinking about that symmetry and balance. And then even bigger still, with those double arm circles. Lovely. Let's reach forward. I want you to imagine you're hugging a tree and now stand up tall again. So reach forward and imagine you're hugging the trunk of a tree. So you forward flex the spine, and every time you stand, you're thinking about the neutral alignment and your posture. So really tall, lengthening through the crown of the head. Lovely. One more time, then we're going to open those hands out. Palms forward and palms back. Palms forward and palms back. So allow your shoulder blades to slide down your back. Good. So we're trying to get the scapula moving. Lovely, relax the arms down. Let's sweep the right arm down and then we're going to open out. Left arm sweep down, round and open out. So a breath in and a breath out as we open. Breath in and breath out as we open. So we start to link the breath with the movement and the mind with the body. And we bring our focus into class. Lovely, one more time on each side. All right, let's keep it dynamic, but take the feet a bit further apart. And now gently rotate from side to side. So we just use this part of the class to prepare ourselves mentally and physically. Good, nice easy breath. Breathing in, 2 rotations. And breathing out, 2 rotations. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, one more time here, and then you're going to come back into the center. We're going to take it into side bend. So again, align the pelvis, engage the core, breath in, stretch, breath out and reach open. Breath in and breath out and down. Lovely, other side. Breathe in, stretch. Breathe out and reach. Breathe in, stretch. Breathe out and down. So I want you to find that space in the side of your body. Imagine you're wedged in between 2 walls, so no leaning forwards or backwards. We're taking that rib cage away from the hip bone, and you're just listening to your body to see how far you can stretch. So remember not to force the movement. Pilates is about a natural flow of movement where we stay in control. Lovely, one more time each side. Lovely, bring the feet back into parallel. Now let's lift up onto the toes and challenge our balance. If you struggle to lift up and down on your toes and you can't weight bear through your feet, modify the movement where you roll through the ball of the feet and then you place the heel down. Alright, so either both feet together, lifting both heels, or as I am now. So just decide what's right for you. Try not to let the ankles roll out. Keep that stability through the ankle joint. So an even weight between your big toe and your little toe. Easier said than done. Ooh, good, one more time. All right, let's just do a little Demi Squat, down and up. So as you're squatting down and up, think about the alignment. Allow your knees to follow your toes. You don't want the knees to knock together, and we also don't want them to push outwards to the side. Think posture, so the chest is open, the spine is long. Good, let's combine the two. Lift up onto the balls of the feet. Now, very slowly, can you squat down and up? If you find this too challenging, just come back to the previous level with your heels flat on the floor. Lovely, really concentrate to get control. And remember, we use these principles with each movement we do. Can we manage one more? And release, good, well done. We're going to take it into a bit more of a dynamic movement. So again, I want you to engage your core, find that neutral alignment through your spine. And now think about side kick, which we normally do lying down. You're going to reach the leg forwards and backwards. All the time you're maintaining that control through your centre. So a nice mobility movement for the hip. That's it, and we're engaging the core. Now if you struggle with the dynamic movement, just toes in front and toes behind. Toes in front, toes behind. Good, let's try the other side. So engage, centre, and then just see if you can free that hip up forwards and backwards. Are the ribs connected? All right, no movement through the rib cage or through the lumbar spine or lower back. Remember, modify, toes in front, toes behind. There's always ways we can modify the movement if we need to. All right, come back to your right leg. And now let's draw a circle. So think of this as the single leg circle, which again we normally do lying on our backs. Can you find your balance and do this standing today? Just challenging that movement a little bit more. We're freeing up the hip, we're mobilising, but we're also working on centering our body and working on our balance. All right, try the other side. Keep those ribs centered. If you imagine your ribs as a church bell, you want to avoid bringing your bell to the side. Okay, the bell stays in the center. And if you struggle with your foot off the floor, just draw circles with your toes down. Again, modify the movement if you need to. So when we do the movements today, I'm assuming that there's no medical issues or injuries that I need to be aware of. Okay. And then place the feet back down. Good. Bring your heels together, Pilates V. I want you to squeeze your inner thighs and engage your pelvic floor. Now lift up and back down. And as you lift up, try and keep those heels together. That's your challenge. Squeeze the heels together. Don't allow the heels to part. Can we lift the arms? So we float and we come back down. Breath in and breath out. Breath in and breath out. Good, when you come down this time, let's see if we can do a little plie. That's it, and then lift, releve. Plie, and releve. Good, so really think posture for me. Can you come down further in your plie? without losing your posture. So if you lose your posture, come back to the previous level. Don't go as far. Where can you maintain that posture? How far can you go? Let's try 2 more. Lovely, one more time. And then we're going to come onto the end of our mats. So let's do some roll downs now. So just step onto the end of your mat, find your feet under your hip sockets, pelvis and spine neutral. Engage your belt muscle, draw your navel in. Take a breath in, and with the breath out, chin to chest, allow the spine to unfold. Vertebrae by vertebrae to the floor. Breath in at the bottom, breath out, slowly roll back up again. When you come up, slide your shoulders down and lift through the crown of the head. Ready to go again, chin to chest, the spine unfolds. Vertebrae by vertebrae, we come down, and then slowly roll back up. So each time, can you grow taller and taller for me? Now if you're able to, we can add the push-up in, where we pad the hands forward on our mat, and then we come into our push-up position, which can either be the full push-up, or we can drop our knees down and do the push-up there, walking our hands back to our knees, towards our feet, heels down, and then we lift. If you can't manage to combine the two, you can carry on with the previous level, which is just to roll down and roll up. And then once you've done a couple, you can come to your mat and just do your push-ups. So if you need to bend your knees, choose your push-up option. Your full push-up should only be done if you can avoid the back collapsing. Okay, so a nice strong back. Hands walking back towards your feet, and then slowly rolling up. So please remember, stay with the level that you normally would do in class. If you find yourself struggling, then that's your indication that you've moved on too quickly. Don't compromise the quality of your movement. So if you need to, knees under the hips, and then do your push-up here. All right, keep the toes under, walk the hands back to the knees, and then curl back up. If you have difficulty transitioning between the floor and standing, just stay down now and do me 5 push-ups. And then we shall come and join you on the mats after this last one here. Good, so once you're done, I want you to sit back onto your heels, lengthen your spine. Nice easy breath into child's pose. Okay, bring your right hand over to the left corner of your mat. Pull away from your arm and feel that stretch all the way through the side of your body as you're pulling away. Nice easy breath. So we're going to do lots of mobility work today, lots of stretching in between each movement. Because if we've got a tight body, then it affects our posture and it affects the way we move. Lovely, let's come down onto our mats, onto our tubbies for some swimming. So if you have a towel or a little cushion, you can pop it underneath your forehead to encourage a neutral spine. Okay, so we stretch the arms forward, we relax the feet behind us. Now let's engage the belt muscle again, draw the navel in. Then, when you're ready, reach opposite hand to leg. Remember to allow your head to come with the arm movement. Don't leave it behind because you want to strengthen the muscles in the back of the neck. If you find it too hard with your arms and legs forwards, then you can just work here, heading your hands and just stretch your feet away only. All right, think of length as opposed to height. So this is a nice exercise to strengthen the muscles in the back, which will help combat a forward rounded posture. Good. For those that are a little bit more advanced, we can alternate and get that exchange of the hands and the feet. Alright, so we can just quicken that tempo. Once we're done, hands underneath, push against the hands, and release again, back into child's pose. Alright, come onto your hands and knees for me. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and then slide your shoulders down your back, lengthen your head from your tailbone. Draw your navel away from the mat, and let's mobilise the wrists. So, we're just going to turn the hands around and we're going to place them in any position that feels comfortable. Alright, if you can't manage any position, that's fine. Just see how much weight you can take through the arms. And mobilise the wrists. Good, let's finish there and let's take a seat for the saw. So if you normally sit on a block in a class or you pop a towel under your bottom, grab that towel now. You can also use a sofa cushion or you can use a little ball underneath the base of the spine. So, arms in Cossack. Let's lift through the crown of the head and let's find a neutral curve. Slide your shoulders down. When you're ready, with an active belt muscle breath in, we're going to turn. Breath out, forward bend. Breath in and turn. And breath out to bend. Good. So we can keep our arms in Cossack. Alternatively, if we feel we can manage, we can open the hands to the side. But when we do this, we want to keep a nice wide span as we turn. If you feel those arms are coming across the body and you're closing your posture, then you're safer to stay here. It's about listening to your body, deciding where you can take it. Lovely, finish up on your left side. And then let's just turn sideways onto our mat for the neck pull or the pull up. Now, the roll up. You can either have a towel behind your back. If you've got a ball and you need a ball, the ball can go there. Or again, a sofa cushion. The roll up, we can start with the feet out in front of us, into our forward bend, sit nice and tall, and then see how far we can come back. If you can't manage to come back all the way, you go to the point where you've got control, you take another seat, and then you sit forward again. For those that can come back all the way and keep the movement smooth, alright, so making sure you're not forcing this part especially, then all the way down to the roll up. Good, breath in, arms back. Breath out, roll and curl. Breath in, set. Breath out, forward bend. For those that want to be challenged even further, the neck pull, your fingertips here. Alright, then slowly come down. But if you find this moves you into struggle and you force as you come up, then keep your hands forward as they were before. If you really need to modify this position, remember you can have a cushion, a ball behind your back, you can bend your knees, and then just a very small range of movement back and forwards. Lovely. Let's try one or two more, and then we're going to lie down on our mats. Alright, once you lie down, I want you to rest your head on your mat, have your feet flat on the floor in parallel, and let's find that neutral curve. Once you've found neutral, leveling your hips out, let's try engaging the pelvic floor. So a little bit of a different focus than the belt muscle. Pelvic floor, we draw the pubic bone and tailbone towards each other and the two sit bones. Then it's a mild engagement upwards with those four bones drawing together. Good, rest your hands down, shoulders slide down your back, and let's take it into the single leg stretch. So we can either keep our head down in neutral or engaging the belt muscle, we're then going to lift the head and shoulders and come into imprint. Once we're in imprint, we can float the legs either here, this is your foundation level, forwards and backwards, Okay, alternatively, you can float both feet. Right knee into the chest, breath in, and then breath out and change. Breathe in right, breathe out, change. Breathe in 3, breathe out, change. Breathe in 4, breathe out, change. Breathe in 5, breathe out, change. Breathe in 6, breathe out, change. Breathe in 7, breathe out, change. Breathe in 8, breathe out, change. Breathe in 9, breathe out, change. Last one, and then draw both knees in and relax the head down. Good, just let your head roll from side to side. So we're going to lead with the left leg. So for those that are more of a foundation beginner level, okay, it's just that one leg heading forwards and backwards. Now if you found that your head became heavy and you started to feel any strain in your neck, keep your head down for the next set. Good, let's engage the core again. Think pelvic floor engagement. Draw the navel down, lifting the head. If we're coming into imprint, then we float to the left leg, either starting from here or right leg as well. Breathe in left knee, breathe out, change. Breathe in left, breathe out, change. Breathe in 3, breathe out, change. Breathe in 4, breathe out, change. Breathe in 5, breathe out, change. Breathe in 6, breathe out, change. Breathe in 7, breathe out, change. Breathe in 8, breathe out, change. Breathe in 9, breathe out, change. Last one, and breathe out, change. Good, knees in, head down, and just let your head roll from side to side. All right, we're going to pop ourselves over onto our side. So let's do the clam. So when you do the clam, you've got a little towel. The towel can come and sit in between the head and the shoulder. Think about a 45-degree angle through your knee and your hip socket. Again, let's try engaging pelvic floor to engage the core. So, drawing together the 4 bones, mild engagement upwards, and then you're ready to open and close your top leg. As you open and close the top leg, be mindful of this top hip. Don't allow it to tilt backwards, so keep the hips stacked. So we'll feel the work around that top hip. And we want to see how much rotation we can achieve. Good. Let's try opening the feet and the knees, and then let's see if we can rotate there. So it's the same shape with the legs, but we've got that distance between the knees and the feet. Rotating to the ceiling, back to halfway, the ceiling and halfway. Lovely, one more, and then bring your knees together. Third variation. Feet angled up, knees together, and then we continue to open and close. So we're still feeling that work. If it's too much, have a little rest. And remember, pelvic floor engagement. So we're trying to keep an active centre all the way through the movement. Lovely, take your feet away. Now stretch them as far as you can. Reach the top arm over and then take it round the wrist. Continue to stretch. And now see if you can lift your top leg, your bottom leg, and then both feet down. Now if you want, just change that focus back into belt muscle. So keep drawing the navel in here. If you're a little bit wobbly, a little fingertip on your mat is okay. See if that bottom leg will stretch further than the top leg. And try not to force your waistline into the floor. Good, both feet lift and both feet down. Both feet lift and both feet down. Lovely, a couple more here. And then hold and just flex and point. So mobilise the feet whilst you're maintaining that control through your centre. Good, circle both feet round, so mobilise your feet. And circle the other way. Lovely, well done. Relax the feet, turn back onto your tummy. So this time we're going to do the single leg kick. Now when we do the single leg kick, you can either rest your head into your hands, engage your core and work from here, point, flex, and point. Alternatively, we can come up onto the elbows and knees into prone position and then point, flex and point from here. So if you're in prone position, very important, hips and thighs are peeled. Don't allow your back to collapse. If your hips and thighs are down, we'll be compressing here through the lumbar spine. So we do need to keep that nice long line through the body. Let's just try 5 on each leg. If you start here and start to struggle, you can always come down onto your tummy to finish the repetitions. And once you're done, we'll release, push against the hands, and back into child's pose. Alright, are we ready to spin around to do the other side? So, let's stretch the other arm along the mat. Pop our towel in between. Okay, and we'll start off with the clown. So remember, we want to about 45-degree angle through the hip and the knee. Engage the pelvic floor, keep your top hip still, and then open and close. So the hips are staying stacked. Good, breath out and open, breath in and back. So try not to allow the hip to roll back. If you detect that movement, try not to take the knee as high. See where that rotation will allow you to go without forcing. Good, one more here, and then we're going to separate the feet and the knees, and then we shall continue with the knees and the feet apart. So we're always keeping that distance. Start to feel that work around the hip. And remember to try and keep the pelvic floor engaged. Lovely, one more time, then knees together, feet up, and then open and close. Lovely. Alright, take your feet away. Nice and long, stretch the top arm over. So create that oppositional force. The arm is reaching away from your ribs, the feet away from your hips. Lift your top leg, lift your bottom leg, and then control both feet down. Lift the top, lift the bottom. Now try not to force your waistline into the floor here. Keep that natural curve underneath the stomach. And see if that bottom leg will reach further than the top leg. If you're struggling for balance, remember a little fingertip down is okay. Can we manage both feet? So both feet up and both feet down. Lovely, a couple more before we hold the feet, and then we shall try to flex and point. So mobilize your feet. Good, circle. And change. And then rest your feet down, well done. Alright, turn onto your back. Last exercise today is going to be the Criss Cross, where we work our obliques. So we start with our feet flat on the floor, our hands behind our head, and we'll let our head relax into our hands. The elbows are away from the face, and then we bring the right shoulder to the left hip, and the left shoulder to the right hip. So it's right to left and left to right. So your foundation level is with your feet on the floor. Okay, if you know that you can lift both feet into tabletop, you may want to try here. Just gently rolling across your shoulders. And then further still, we extend out and back. Out and back. So breath out, breath in. Breath out, breath in. Good, once you've made it to anywhere between 5 and 10 on each, you can rest your head down, draw your knees in, and just let your head roll from side to side. Well done. Good, let's circle the knees round now. Let's just mobilise our hip sockets. And gently circle the other way. Good, hug your right knee into your chest. Lengthen your left leg all the way out. So as you're hugging the knee in, you're going to stretch in the glute, the right side. And then we're opening out the front of the hip on the left. Let's rotate the right foot around so we mobilise the ankle. And then gently circle the other way. Good, let's swap over. Hug your left knee in. So, remember, we're opening out the right hip this time as we lengthen that right foot away. Hugging the left knee in, we stretch the left glute. And then we mobilise the ankle as we circle our foot. And change. Good, stretch both hands over the head, stretch both feet away. Nice long body now as you stretch from the fingertips all the way down to the toes. So give yourself a few moments to reflect, feel the benefits of more space in your body, more length, strength, stability and balance. Open the hands, bend your knees, feet and knees together, and gentle rotations. So keep your upper body connected as you just control those knees side to side. Good, take your knees to your right and look over to your left hand. If you want to add assistance, the hand on the outside of the thigh, gently pulling the knee towards the floor. Lovely, come through centre and to the other side. Alright, back to centre, soles of the feet together, open your knees out to the side and stretch the inner thighs. Still nice easy breath. Either pop yourself onto one side to come up or hug a knee transition. When you're ready, take a seat. Sitting either legs crossed or legs open, whatever feels comfortable for you. One hand either side of your knee, nose down towards your knee. Feel that stretch in the opposite glute and the lower back. And then come through centre to the other side. Lovely, back to centre, we're almost there. Hands in front, separate your shoulders, release your upper back. And then hands behind you, open your chest. Sit nice and tall, squeeze your elbows together. Lovely, take the chin to the chest, head to the right. Hold either here or just gently assist. And change. Chin to chest, slowly over. And release. Okay, let's come up nice and slowly. Let's finish off where we started today. Alright, so back into our Pilates setup, coming up nice and slowly with our feet underneath our hip sockets, the pelvis and spine neutral. Think about your ribs being centered, feet ground down as you lift through the crown of the head to find your posture. Allow your shoulders to slide down your back with an active center. Let's take a breath in and a breath out. Good, one more time. This time bring your hands together, hands down. Very well done. Have a great day, everyone. Hopefully I'll see you again next week. Remember, this does get uploaded onto the Facebook page for Achieve Lifestyle, so do have a little look if you want to have a little bit more practice before you see me again next week. All right, take care for now.